The news updates for the content we are getting in Act 2 just don't stop. We officially have our first images and descriptions of the new map Fracture that is coming to the game at the start of Act 2. What is going on, ProGuides family? It is your host Sergeant Frost, and today we have some exciting new info to share with you on the brand new map 7, which has officially been named Fracture. I've been waiting for so long for new additions to the game, and I'm sure you guys have been too. So we'll cover what we currently know as well as some of the dev comments on their map design philosophy. And before we hop in, Act 2 is approaching in just a few days now, and we want you guys to be well prepared for all the in-game challenges that the new act will bring. Tournament mode is upon us, Immortal 1, 2, and 3 is coming back. There is going to be a lot of competition in this act, and we have the resources to help you sharpen your skill set to prepare for the new act. On our website, we have Radiant and Immortal level coaches who can tailor coaching sessions to help you get ahead of the competition. They can even help you get familiarized with the new map Fracture as soon as possible, so that you can dominate on the map in tournaments and in ranked. Head over to ProGuides.com today to level up your gameplay. Now, let's start talking about this new map. So, what do we know about the map so far? It looks like the leaks we got are true. The leaks we got earlier this summer surrounding a map codenamed Canyon is officially now called Fracture. And with that being announced, Fracture is officially the next map to be added into Valorant with the start of Act 2. On top of that, Riot has been teasing us with this map for a while now, as apparently a player card has had the basic concept art for the map Fracture ever since the Act 1 Battle Pass came out. Anyways, we've got some inside info from the devs on the contents and inspirations for this map. And later on in the video, we have a few quotes to help you guys understand why Act 2 is slightly delayed and what went into the making of this map. So how would we describe this map? Well, at first glance, the map is unique with its letter H-shaped layout, especially with a visual split down the middle that reveals two different biomes. Long zip lines also connect routes under the map. Apparently, from what we've been told, like the past maps we've received, keep an eye out for heavy tie-ins to Valorant's lore, including first-time interactive narrative objects. Starting off with our opinions, let's talk about the visuals for this map. Looking at this overhead view of the map, it does look like Fracture could be one of the bigger maps. There is a nice clear distinct break between the jungle biome and the desert biome. As you can see, there is a metal lab looking area separating the two. Also, if we look at a close-up of this picture, the devs weren't lying. We have some pretty long zip lines that connect the entire map from underneath. Also, we have some high-res shots inside of the A and B bomb sites. It looks like the A site will be in the desert biome, and the B site will be in the jungle biome. Now, let's get further into the analysis of how we think this map will play. Wow guys, this map is truly the most different and unique map we've received in Valorant so far. Let's continue to break this down and list some of the map's key features to truly understand what we are about to get ourselves into. This map will have a unique H-shaped layout, and the defender spawn will sit in the middle of the map. There will be zip lines that run underneath the map to connect the play space from front to back. This will be the first map with different interactive objects as well. This map is going to give us our first exposure to the Mirror Earth Kingdom, as the map expands on the Mirrorverse and both kingdoms. And finally, a nice fact to note, the map will have two extremely different weather biomes. One side of the map will be a dry, barren desert, and the other half of the map will be a lush, dense river forest jungly area. Okay, wow, so this map has a lot to talk about, but we won't truly be able to grasp an understanding of how this map will play until it comes out and we get a chance to play on it. But in the meantime, let's talk about some of our opinions here on what we think of the map. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Yes, from the description of this map, it sounds like this will be a medium to bigger-ish map. And on top of that, since the defenders have a funky spawn, this map more than likely will be balanced around a different playstyle. Don't get us wrong, the map's meta and playstyle can drastically change over time, but from what we've been told is the description of this map, Fracture sounds like the attackers will be getting a leg up on the defenders off the start every single round, which means defenders can't just stay still. Personally, I like that Riot is taking risks with their map design, and I hope that their gambles pay off. Designing non-traditional maps like this could rub some players the wrong way, but for all we know, this map could be the breath of fresh air that Valorant needs right now in game. Fracture sounds like a map that will be heavily rotation based because of the zip lines spanning the length of the play area under the map. This means that positioning will be key for defenders, as the attackers will always have the advantage because of easy rotation routes due to the extra long zip lines. Fracture sounds like it will become a map where you can't succeed unless you're a proactive player on the defender side. Essentially, since both bomb sites will be on completely opposite sides of the map, with a chasm separating both of them, the defenders will have a tall task of splitting up their forces to efficiently defend both bomb sites. Since Fracture seems like it will have a big gap between the bomb sites, this could mean that going for total map control before the attackers execute on a site could be unlikely. Defenders are likely going to be forced to take an aggressive stance on information gathering early by pushing one side for advanced positioning while the other side tries to stall for time, which in turn means that the meta attacking style for this map could be advanced executes and 5-man rushes of sites. Attackers know that one bomb site will always have less defenders on it than the other, so they will need to strategically use the zip lines to move across the map in order to pick the right bomb site to plant on and hold off rotations long enough to safely plant. Seems a little bit like it could be a mix of Breeze and Bind into the same map. Before we get into the quotes, we have to get into our question of the day. Today's question is, what are you guys' first thoughts and opinions on the new map Fracture? Personally, I like that Riot is taking chances with map design in order to create something fun and interesting for us to play on. It sounds like Fracture is a map that will require a very different playstyle, so it could be a cool challenge to learn the map. While we haven't played on it yet, this map sounds like it could be wide. I hope that the map isn't too large or it could feel too gambly. So what do you guys think? Let us know what your opinions are on this map in the comment section down below. Now, let's get right back into the video. Alright, so we have quite a few quotes from the devs that really give us some insight on what they were thinking design-wise when they were developing Fracture. This first quote talks about the developers' goals they had in mind when designing Fracture this year, and this quote in particular is from Joe Lansford, a level designer at Riot Games. The idea for the map came from a simple question: what if? Specifically, what if the attacker started on both sides of the map, pinching defenders? We really wanted to ask players to rethink some fundamental assumptions and give them unique problems to solve. For example, for whom is the neutral space really for? From there, the goals just all focused on supporting that what if. The H shape of the map, the neutral spaces, the zip lines, everything is built to reinforce that core idea. I really love that they had a central theme of giving some of the map control power over to the attackers for Fracture. Last year, one of the biggest complaints the community had with Valorant's maps were that they were too defender-sided. If you played last year, I know we all remember the dark days of pre-rework Split, and the likes of maps like Bind and Haven with multiple sentinels. After the community gave some feedback that we needed some more balanced maps that didn't immediately put attackers at a disadvantage, we now have more attacker-sided maps like Icebox, Breeze, and now Fracture. The new H-shaped design in combination with the zip lines that help you travel quickly means that the gameplay on this map will be very fast-paced. Players will need to keep their head on a swivel and adapt during a round so that you don't get killed wandering around the map looking lost. For our last quote, let's look at the devs' description of the bomb sites and how they want to tell a specific narrative story with this map. This quote is from Brian Yam, the lead artist at Riot Games. For visual development, we wanted to create a distinctive visual split for the two sides of the map to suggest that an accident occurred, which resulted in timeline of fracture caused by a rift. We wanted to create a unique visual that supported the narrative of a covert experiment gone wrong. A site is distinguished by its arid desert environment with abandoned facilities deteriorating. B site is contrasted by lush, overgrown foliage left to take over the science facility. The mid building is where the central collider is located, underneath where players can zip line through. Fracture is a special map from a design standpoint, but we also wanted to push unique solutions on the visual side. By having two distinct sides, this allows visually interesting storytelling by prompting players to question the events that took place and the radical results that ensued. It also provides clear player orientation from a visual and call-out perspective. I don't know about you guys, but this map sounds like it might be one of the most prettiest visual spectacle maps that we might get in Valorant. I know Breeze was a bright and colorful map, and Fracture sounds like it's going down the same path as well. Not to mention that earlier in the interview, Joe Lansford said that they took inspiration from the Battle of Helm's Deep for this new map. Lastly, according to David Nottingham, a creative director at Riot, this map will play a key role in the linear timeline of the conflict taking place between our Earth and the mysterious other Earth that is sending their own Valorant agents. I know the last cinematic revealed that the Valorant agents have discovered duplicates of themselves running around on our Earth, and this new map will play a role in this unfolding storyline. Well guys, that's all we have for this news update on the new map Fracture. If you enjoyed this video or want to see more of this, make sure to drop us a like and subscribe to keep up to date with our daily uploads. Also, don't forget to check out our website for the very best on-demand coaching. This has been your host Sergeant Frost, and I'll see you all again in the next one.